Welcome to the channel. Today we have very special subject, and that is how decisions are made by the Japanese corporations or MNCs. Do they decide their future based on Ginza Nomikai, that is around the nightlife table, or they consider some other factors like Shinrai, that is trust, Antei, that is stability, Seikatsu no Shitsu, that is quality of life, and Seicho, that is growth. Based on how Japanese institutional investors, trading houses like Sogo Shosha, and venture capitalists operate, we can understand that Japanese investors are not interested in life itself, but a resounding yes to the relationship building that happens within. Historically, the glitch of late night business drinking session, that is nomikai in Japanese language, or entertaining clients at high-end hostess clubs like in Ginza, was a staple of Japanese corporate culture. However, आजकल के जो modern Japanese investors हैं, is not cutting a check because they enjoyed a premium whiskey or like the music at a nightclub. Corporations are investing because those environments act as a crucible for testing trust and character of the potential partners. The real role, as far as the real role of nightlife in Japanese business is concerned, let us consider the point that in Western business cultures, due diligence is heavily data driven, relying on financial models, legal framework, and metrics. जबकि Japanese investors absolutely require rigorous data, of course, like Western companies, but they place an incredibly high premium on human data. The nomication filter, the blend of nomu, that is to drink, and communication. In formal meeting, Japanese business people strictly adhere to tatemae, that is the public facet or a politeness. Drinking alcohol together is used to unlock hone, that is a person's true feelings and intentions. An investor might use a relaxed night out to see how a founder or a partner acts when their guard is down. Do they treat the service staff with respect? Do they become reckless? For a culture that prioritizes long-term alignment, lapse in character during a night out can quietly kill a deal. It's worth noting that modern Japanese corporate governance and a younger generation of investors have significantly scaled back lavish nightlife entertaining. Compliances and gender equality initiatives mean decisions are fast moving from the nightclubs back to the boardroom. If any country wants to secure Japanese investment, the pitch should not focus on quick wins or flashy trends. इसको क्या करना चाहिए? It must anchor to those core values as stated in the next slide. The number one point to consider in the core value is trust, etamad, that is Shinrai. Japanese investment is viewed as a marriage, not a transaction. That is a very strong bond. They want to know you will stick around when market conditions get rough. Integrity and transportation and transparent communication outweigh raw initial profit. The three core value stability, that is Antei. Upon domestic economies value predictability, and risk mitigation. Investors look for robust operational structures, clear compliance protocols, and a lack of volatile corporate drama. Seikatsu no Shitsu Yasake, quality of life. Whether investing in infrastructure, technology, or consumer goods, there is a strong preference for projects that elevate social well being, safety, and meticulous craftsmanship. Because, and the final and most important core value which Japanese corporations consider for investment, that is Seicho, yani growth. Because Japan faces a shrinking and aging domestic market, they actively invest abroad to capture sustainable long-term growth. They want scalable business that can integrate with Japan's global supply chains. The core pillars of Japanese corporate system should be known to the investor and potential partners, consisting of institutional behavior and long-term orientation and group consensus. Japan follows the concept of Seiratsu supply chain alliances. Japanese multinationals rarely invest as isolated entities. They operate within Keiratsu massive interconnected networks of manufacturers, supply chain partners, trading houses, that is Sogo Shosha, and banks. When a major firm like an automotive giant enters a market, they evaluate whether their Keiretsu component supplier can follow them to maintain quality and reliability. Another important point to note by the potential partner is that Japanese follow the Ringi systems of decision making, consisting of bottom up consensus. Unlike Western companies, where a CEO makes a top down executive decision, Japanese corporations use Ringisho, that is, consensus building documents. Decision originates from mid level managers who meticulously vet risk, iterate solutions, and gain formal stamps of approval, that is Hanko, mostly in red color, from every department before submitting it to the board. This is why onboarding new Japanese capital takes significantly longer. However, once the Ringi process is complete, project execution is flawless and fast because every stakeholder is already aligned. But another important point, the factor which a potential investor should know about the Japanese corporation working system or decision making system, and that is nemawashi, that is preparing the ground, literally meaning binding the roots of a tree before moving it. Nemawashi is the informal, quiet process of building consensus before a formal proposal is ever tabled. This is where the cultural mechanism come into play. In daily operation, Japanese behavior is governed by tatemae, that is the public face, official stance, and formal politeness required to maintain harmony, that is what. That is their behavior during the office hours. And at the late night business, that is the catalyst, not the cause. Drinking sessions, nomikai in districts like Ginza are not merely casual entertainment. They serve a vital corporate function. Under the social permission of nomireku, that is drinking relaxation, professionals can drop their tatemae, that is the polite face, or their behavior while doing work, and speak hone, their true feelings, hidden concern, and raw opinions. That's where the Japanese officials they try to dig out your true feelings, hidden concern, and raw opinions to it in a way it's a fact-finding system. Japanese investors do not invest in light life and encode. They use as a traditional tool to strip away corporate filtering. They are building, they are looking to build Shinrai, that is trust, by evaluating your true character, consistency, and integrity outside a formal boardroom setting. Please remember, they invest in confidence that you are a high quality partner who won't hide operational problems when things get tough. Coming to the systems related to quality system consisting of total quality management and local adaptation. Gemba Kanri, that is shop floor management, is one most important system. Japanese place immense value on Gemba, that's the actual place where the value is created, and that is the factory floor or service center. Executive leadership regularly visits the floor to observe realities, first-hand information, rather than solely relying on desktop metrics. The other important system related to quality system is continuous improvement, and that is in Japanese language is kaizen. When a Japanese firm invests in a country, they expect the local workforce to adopt a kaizen, incremental, that is daily improvement in efficiency, safety, and waste reduction. Coming to the procurement and adherence mandate, this system explains why Japanese investors are rate countries with poor local procurement infrastructure or fluid labor discipline so critically. This entire production system depends on compliance and quality and strict adherence to standard operational timelines. The key point for the host nations and partner is respect the timeline. Understand that a slow initial response from Japanese corporate boards is not a lack of interest. It is the Ringi system that is consensus building at work, forcing rapid closures without allowing them to achieve internal consensus may cause them may trigger them to consider withdrawal from the agreements. The host nation should and the partner should prioritize transparency over perfect data. Because risk mitigation is the ultimate goal. Hiding local bottlenecks like foreign exchange restrictions or infrastructure challenges during negotiation is a critical mistake. They value an honest partner who helps them plan for risks over a partner who promises flawless and unrealistic scenarios. The important thing for the host nations and a partner is another point is build multi-decade alignment. The partner or the potential partner should show your local operations can protect there that the Japanese corporation long-term continuity, that is Kenzoku. Provide a stable environment for Keiretsu partner, that is supply chain network, and guarantee a predictable long-term future. The takeaway for us is that nightlife and alcohol are merely traditional tools, tools used to step away corporate filtering. They are the catalyst, not the cause. Ultimately, Japanese investors do not invest in light life. They invest in confidence that you are a reliable, high quality partner for the next decade and for a long time to come. For closing remarks, or when Japan looks at a map, it does not just see countries. It sees a potential multi-decade partnership. The nations that wins their capital are simply the ones that make it easiest for Japan to see a stable, predictable future. Japanese investors don't invest in nightlife, they invest in confidence. What Japan really wants is the trust, stability, and quality. With this, we conclude our today's discussion on the subject of Japanese investors' core pillars to consider for investment. If you have not so far subscribed the channel, please do like, share, and subscribe the channel to receive the unique videos on unique subjects. Stay tuned and thank you very much.